Situated on the northern entrance of a 300-year-old church in Salamanca, Spain, is a sculpture that resembles modern astronauts. The church was built in 1513 and completed in 1733. A mysterious astronaut carving at the 300-year-old Spanish church. Immediately, the eyes that make the mind ask the question. Theories about ancient aliens, time travel, prophecy, and many other ideas appear in our minds. And although the world today still contains many mysteries, the mystery of the Salamanca Cathedral astronomer is quite simple and realistic. Salamanca, Spain, is home to two churches. The old church, simply called Catedral Vieja, was built in the middle of the 12th century. Thus, this may be one of the oldest churches in Europe. The other church, called Catedral Nueva or New Church, is not new to the current standard, but it is new when it is given the name. Astronauts appear on the entrance of the new church, in the adjacent position, parallel to the entrance. The astronaut sits on a tree trunk full of shoes and a helmet, which is placed on the chest as a respirator, which is connected to the two backpacks on the back. The astronaut's right hand is holding something like a vines, resembling a kind of harness lined up by the waist. His left hand grabs onto a nearby leaf. His face was astonished. But, how can this happen? Astronauts cannot survive when this church is built. It seems that this engraving was in fact part of the process of restoration of the church in 1992. At that time, Puerta de Ramos, this was the name of the entrance to the new church, has suffered considerable damage after several centuries of existence. The renovation process was probably done by stone builder Miguel Romero under the supervision of Jerónimo García de Quinones. Traditionally, during the restoration of the church, people have added something from the modern era, and in this case, the restoration personnel have chosen the image of an astronaut. However, proponents of alternative hypotheses have argued that the astronaut image was actually carved much earlier and that the restoration work merely repaired the damage done to the engraving. The monk. The mystery lies in the fact that the church's frontal image before restoration and witness testimony of the church entrance is extremely scarce, making the debate even more harsh. The astronaut statue was destroyed by the Vandals in 2010, according to the ancient code. Online photos show astronauts lost their right arm and face deformed. Damage has been repaired later. The city also has exotic carvings, such as the facade of the University of Salamanca, a very detailed and varied stone carvings that depict all kinds of shapes and designs. In the carved picture there is a hidden skull with a frog on the top. This sculpture is quite ancient because it was built in 1529. It is believed that this figure represents Prince Juan, who died in 1497 at the age of 20. According to the cultural travel guide, this frog represents the doctor who treated the prince. Another Easter egg sculpture is located very close to the astronaut statue and also on the entrance to the new church. Dragons are often described in the art of carvings similar to the dragons mentioned here. But, this dragon stands out in that it seems to be enjoying an ice cream cone with 3 creams on the left. The dragon enjoying ice cream is another example of a restored activity in 1992. Salamanca is an extremely ancient city located in the northwest of Madrid. In the 3rd century BC, the city was invaded by the Carthaginians. Then the city fell to the Romans and then to the Moors, according to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. The city has famous landscapes such as the Roman, Gothic, Moor, Renaissance and Baroque ruins. The city was declared World Heritage by UNESCO in 1988.